Hello and welcome to Auto Today. My name is Abhik and this is the new Audi Q3 Sportback, and I'm going to start with my humble opinion about SUV coupes. You see, SUVs are an image of dominance, of power, and that's emphasized with a body style which is muscular and boxy, while a coupe, on the other hand, tells you that the owner likes their cars to look fast and sporty even while they're standing still. Now, mixing the two body styles kind of leaves me a little confused until the Audi Q8 came along and showed the world how these two design philosophies can come together and make for a handsome looking car. This Q3 Sportback is just a smaller version of the same design philosophy. The sloping roofline that tapers towards the back isn't as pronounced as a sedan, and Audi has ensured that the coupe look gives the Q3 Sportback a fast SUV stance while retaining the sedan-like window line. This generation of the Q3 brought along visual changes, and those are now highlighted with the S-line trim that we have on test here. Matte aluminium silver highlights, black mesh grille, sporty front and rear bumpers, as well as the side skirts, along with the LED DRLs with a distinguishable Audi signature, make for a good-looking SUV with a compact footprint. The only oddity is the use of high-profile tires that balloon enough to make the 18-inch wheels look much smaller than they are. The interior, in typical Audi fashion, exudes this sense of luxury, especially with generous use of faux leather on the seats and upholstery, soft touch materials on top of the dashboard. Even the quality of the plastics, they're of great quality. But it's the build quality of the cabin that really catches my fancy. Take, for example, these vent controls right beside the aircon vents. They engage with this positive clicks, and it's the same with all other controls. The clicky rotary knobs that control the aircon, and even these buttons here for traction control and parking assistance, they all engage with a sense of accuracy. And it also tells me that this cabin, despite heavy use over the years, will still feel like new. Great quality materials and solid build quality aside, the feature list includes the 12.3-inch Audi virtual cockpit that uses themes and animations, especially with the map expanding to full screen upon selecting navigation. The 10-inch infotainment employs a very user-friendly interface with easy-to-find settings and operations, but the exclusion of wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is shocking for a car that costs nearly $500 million. There is a wireless phone charger and a couple of USB-C ports, a couple of cup holders, and a small storage bin under the center armrest, and that's as much as the list of conveniences go. The 530-litre boot space remains identical as the standard Q3. The main talking point, however, is the rear seat comfort. Now, I am 5'8". This front seat is set to my driving position, and that leaves me with a generous amount of leg room. I can imagine a taller passenger sitting here on a long drive very, very comfortably. But that taller passenger may not be too happy with the headroom because of the tapered roofline, and despite a cutout in the headliner, it doesn't really leave much room for comfort, especially for taller occupants. And apart from that, as extensive as the feature list is for the front occupants, the rear occupants basically just get an aircon vent, a couple of cup holders, and that's about it really. If you're planning on a long trip riding at the back of the Q3 Sportback, remember to carry those extra long USB-C cables, because they'll have to make it all the way from the front to the back and then into your phone. So the headline figures first: 190 horsepower, 320 Newton meters of torque from a 2-litre turbo petrol engine mated to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic and Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. Now what that translates to is a high level of traction and more than pleasing acceleration. It is a quick car. Don't be expecting sports car like performance. This is not that kind of car, but it is quick and exciting nonetheless. Apart from that, the ride quality is fairly pliant over various surfaces. The drive select mode just helps you fine-tune the power delivery. It'll either make it duller, the throttle response, or it'll make it a little more direct. The steering also is adjusted accordingly, but there are no changes to the suspension settings. As far as the handling goes, it doesn't really excite the senses, but well, it is very balanced, very neutral, and there is that reassurance from the all-wheel drive system, which is going to make an experienced driver pretty happy, or a new driver pretty safe. With a car like the Q3 Sportback, you're looking at a bit of a compromise given its beautifully contoured exterior versus its in-cabin practicality at the rear. Now, if that's not a cause of concern, then it's an easy pick over the standard Q3, given that it is a little bit pricier, but more or less the package remains identical. But then again, this S-line trim in this hue of blue, the heart is always going to win the battle against the mind. Thank you for watching Auto Today. My name is Abhik. Remember to subscribe to the channel as always, and I will see you pretty soon.